Okay guys, as we work through slider, we're gonna have some different terms that you may not be used to. The first of which is flight. A lot of athletes are like, why aren't we just calling it rounds? Because typically a round indicates that you're gonna do exercise A, B, and then C all back to back. With a flight, you're gonna be doing either a drop set or superset, so it needs to kind of look more like this. A, part A and B. Give it a few minutes. Then you're gonna do B, A and B. Give it a few minutes, C, and then D, okay? So the idea is that what we want to happen is you're gonna move from one exercise group to the next, to the next, to the next, with a little bit of time in between. So maybe 30 seconds. It could be as much as a minute to a minute and a half. What you can expect is that a whole flight will take anywhere from 6 to 10 minutes, depending on what movements are in there and how hard you actually go. The idea is that we don't want to rush quickly and not challenge ourselves. It's gonna be much better and much more productive to go very hard on that individual exercise kind of combination, rest for a minute, and then go into the next one. Rest for a minute, then go into the next one. Now the upper body exercises will not be as taxing or as challenging, but when we start doing the split squats, the jump lunges, the back squats, and you're actually taking those to failure, you're gonna want a little bit of time when you get done before you move to the next exercise. We've had some athletes do both cases where they used way too light a weight and they did not push themselves all the way to failure. They were able to cycle through these very quickly. Other athletes are taking 40 to 50 minutes to move through 4 flights, and that's kind of what we're looking for. We really want you to go on the heavier side and really push yourself to failure versus just kind of half-assing it and moving through all 4. So that's the idea of a flight, right? You're gonna take your time to work through it, no rush, 6 to 10 minutes per flight. It should take you 30, 40, 50 minutes to work through 4 flights, okay? Okay, drop sets and supersets. Now, as you're working through session 1 and 5, you're gonna be doing one of these two for pretty much all of the muscle groups, right? That's gonna include your primary and secondaries, shoulders, arms, hamstrings, glutes, quads, chest, and back, okay? So both drop sets and supersets have 2 parts. Now, within each of those parts, you're going to do at least 10, but no more than 20 reps. So an example of the drop set would be maybe I go 10 reps at 185 of the bench press. Now you don't have to do 10. If you're doing bench press at 185 and 10 feels easy, you can do 12, 14, 16, whatever it may be. You're then going to drop loading and doing the same exercise, do at least 10 reps, but no more than 20. So in this case, let's say I drop to 135, I do 15 reps at 135 pounds. These 2 numbers can be whatever. It can be 15 and 10, it can be 12 and 20, it can be 10 and 20. Long as both sections or both portions, A and B, fall within that 10 to 20 rep range, you're good. A lot of athletes are thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna do 10 and stop. No, I want you to go almost to failure here, and then go almost to failure here, all right? So the harder you go here, the less reps you will get in part B. Now the superset's gonna work exactly the same way, but instead of just dropping weight on the bench press, we're going to change exercises. All right, so let's use an example of bench press again. Maybe I go 12x at 185. I worked all the way or very close to failure, and then I move into something like a dumbbell fly. So then I'll do maybe 14x at 25 pounds, and that's taking me almost to failure. So the key idea is both the drop set and superset, there's 2 parts. For the drop set, it's gonna be bench press and then bench press again at a lighter load. For a superset, it may be dips followed by push-ups. For both part 1 and part 2, 10 to 20 reps, take it close to failure.